Here's a unique take on a story inspired by the themes in Linda Moulton Howe's work, focusing on UFOs, abductions, and the men in black. Glimpses of the unknown. Dr. Evelyn Carter was a seasoned investigator of the extraordinary. Her career centered around unexplainable phenomena. She had spent decades gathering testimonies of UFO sightings, crop circles, and abductions. Her latest assignment took her to Pine Hollow, a remote town in the Pacific Northwest where locals whispered of eerie lights in the sky and missing livestock. The town's most peculiar story, however, came from Sam Whitaker, a farmer who claimed he'd been taken by strange beings. Sam was no storyteller. His quiet demeanor made his tale all the more unsettling. They weren't human, Sam said, his hands trembling as he described the beings. Their eyes were black as oil, and their skin pale, almost translucent. They didn't speak, but I knew what they wanted. They were studying me. Sam's account matched dozens of others Evelyn had encountered. The paralysis, the cold metallic rooms, the strange symbols carved into flesh. But one detail stood out. Sam claimed he wasn't alone on the craft. He saw a human, a man dressed in black, standing in the shadows, watching as the beings worked. The men in black. Evelyn knew the stories of the men in black. They weren't just the stuff of conspiracy theories. Too many witnesses described them. Men who appeared after UFO sightings, dressed in black suits and seemingly detached from emotion. Some said they were government agents. Others believed they were something else entirely. As Evelyn delved deeper, the strangeness escalated. Her phone crackled with static during calls, and her computer screen flickered with images she hadn't pulled up. Blueprints of alien craft, symbols she didn't recognize. Then came the visitors. It was just past midnight when they arrived. Two men in black suits knocked on her motel door. They were identical, tall, pale, and stiff, as if mimicking human behavior. Their voices were monotone, their smiles uncanny. "We advise you to discontinue your investigation, Dr. Carter," one of them said, his gaze unblinking. "This matter does not concern you." "Who are you?" Evelyn demanded, standing her ground. "We are custodians of information," the other replied cryptically. "And this information is not for you." Before Evelyn could respond, the men were gone, as if they had vanished into thin air. Abduction revelations. Determined to continue, Evelyn sought out others in Pine Hollow who claimed to have seen the lights. A pattern emerged. The sightings always coincided with electromagnetic disturbances. Watches stopped, radios crackled, and the air felt heavy. Then Evelyn experienced it for herself. While driving late at night on the outskirts of town, her car stalled. The radio hummed with static before a mechanical voice broke through. "Do not interfere." That's when the light appeared. Blinding, otherworldly. Evelyn's body froze as her car was engulfed in the glow. She felt herself being lifted, weightless, into the air. The next thing she knew, she was lying on a cold, metallic surface, surrounded by the pale beings Sam had described. They moved methodically, their long fingers gliding over her skin, their black eyes unreadable. But in the corner of the room stood a familiar figure, a man in black, observing silently. Evelyn tried to speak, but her voice failed her. The beings communicated in flashes of images. Earth's fragile ecosystem, humanity's destructive tendencies, and a chilling vision of the planet consumed by fire. The truth beneath. When Evelyn woke, she was back in her car, hours unaccounted for. Shaken but resolute, she returned to Pine Hollow to confront the mystery. Sam Whitaker revealed a detail he had omitted before. The beings had implanted something in him, a small metallic object he could feel beneath his skin. Evelyn encouraged him to get it removed and analyzed. The analysis shocked her. The implant wasn't terrestrial in origin. It emitted a faint signal, one that seemed to interact with electromagnetic fields. Evelyn's research led her to an underground network of whistleblowers, scientists, and former intelligence agents. They told her of hidden alliances between shadow governments and non-human entities, experiments in genetic manipulation, and a secret so vast it threatened to unravel everything humanity believed about its place in the universe. The final encounter. Evelyn's investigation didn't go unnoticed. The men in black returned, this time in force. They confronted her outside her office, their voices colder than before. "This is your last warning," one of them said. "The knowledge you seek is not meant for mankind." But Evelyn couldn't stop. The world needed to know the truth. She released her findings online, only for the information to vanish within hours, wiped clean by forces she couldn't identify. As she prepared to go public again, Evelyn received one final visit. A man dressed in black but visibly different, his movements more natural, his eyes filled with something resembling empathy, came to her home. "You've seen too much," he said, his tone almost apologetic. "They'll come for you now." "Who are you?" Evelyn asked. "A messenger," he replied. "And a warning. Humanity isn't ready for what lies beyond." Before Evelyn could press further, the man was gone, leaving her with a choice: pursue the truth at the risk of her own life, or live in silence, knowing the secrets of the universe were just out of reach. Evelyn chose to fight. Epilogue. To this day, no one knows what became of Dr. Evelyn Carter. Her notes and recordings disappeared, her home left eerily untouched. But in Pine Hollow, locals still report strange lights in the sky and whispers of shadowy figures watching from the darkness. And somewhere, deep in the unknown, the watchers wait.